My dear friend, welcome back to the channel. Very good afternoon to you wherever you are on the globe, on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, in Canada, Australia, or right in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, you are highly welcome to this Friday afternoon edition. Yes, our head coach, Enzo Maresca, speaking to the press ahead of our Sunday clash against Manchester City. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he was asked specific questions from our goalkeeper to Cole Palmer, Levi Colwell, and in fact, he spoke at length on, he touched on almost everything, including Garnacho. Yes, including Garnacho. And not forgetting our midfield issues. Whether we are going to recall Andrew Santos or not. Dear friend, let's get started. Maresca speaking on Robert Sanchez situation. We remembered very well in our last game, his error once again nearly cost Chelsea. His error once again nearly cost Chelsea the game. The only goal that was scored was due to the error he made. Instead of punching the ball, he tried to catch and the ball dropped. Now, he was asked specifically on our goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, and this is what Maresca had to say. Robert Sanchez is okay. It's a matter for me to understand that anything can happen. How many times has Maresca missed a pass? Many times. How many times has Nico Williams missed a goal? Many times. How many times has Noni missed a cross? Many times. Robert has made 4 mistakes. Listen. Well, no, hold it there. Our head coach is trying to let us feel that every player on a pitch of play, from defense to attack, they all make mistakes. And so, Robert Sanchez error or mistake that led to a goal should not be counted as anything, that we should be worried about. And I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. Very big problem with that. But then, wait a minute. Let's move on. Maresca, speaking about positions and lack of depth, looking at the injury situation and Michael Moedric situation right now, he was posed a question straight away on the situation regarding the replacement for Michael Moedric in a person of Garnacho. This is where the problem came from. And this is the answer your coach, my head coach, has given. Maresca, I said many times, on the right side, it's Pedro and Noni Madueke. Left side is Jadon Sancho and Misha, that's Michael Moedric, with us. Now he's not with us, which is Misha not with us. Tariq George is a profile that can help us. Tariq George is a profile that can help. I want you to get it clearly. Tariq George is not the one for the position, but has a profile that can help. Tariq is a profile that can help. In this moment, we are okay with wingers. Let's move on. There is something I would like you to listen to, so just wait, don't go anywhere yet. Talking about our press conference. On the issue of recalling Leslie Ugochukwu or Andrew Santos from their loans to cover up our midfield, because we have challenges in our midfield. Right now, we have only Caicedo there. But wait a minute. I'll get to where he announced that it's possible Enzo Fernandez will be back tomorrow. Wait a minute. Maresca on recalling Leslie Ugochukwu and Andrew Santos, he says, we've got enough players in midfield to cover Moise Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, and Kenyan Dewsbury Hall. The intention is not to go for a midfielder. The intention is not to go for a midfielder. It means that the issue of Douglas Luiz from Juventus, the coach, is not, either he is not aware or he has not approved of. Hold on there. I am building my case as a lawyer. This is where I want to hit it right there. Speaking about the injured players, Enzo Maresca, he announced that Levakowa and Enzo could be available for City game. Means that they are back. I mean, he's been updated on both. Levakowa, who missed our last game due to injury, and Enzo Fernandez also missed the game. They are likely to be back against City. But he also said, Lavia a few more weeks. Okay. I'm still building my point. Don't go anywhere. I am still building my point, so don't go anywhere yet. My dear friends, he continued. He said, for sure, Joao Felix is a Chelsea player. When he was pushed to the fact that it's been in the news that Joao Felix is going to AC Milan or leaving a club, he said, for sure, Joao is a Chelsea player. The problem for him and that's Christopher Nkuku, is the manager. He said the problem for Joao Felix and Christopher Nkuku, their problem is the manager. It is not them that they the players. It's the manager who plays most games with one attacking midfielder, and that's Cole Palmer. This is an admission. The problem is the manager who plays only one attacking midfielder, and that is Cole Palmer. They struggle to get minutes. Joao Felix and Christopher Nkuku struggles to get minutes. They are both top players. Wait a minute. I'm still building my case as a lawyer. Now, let me now start my submission properly. Dear friends, from what I have read to you, the statement of our head coach Enzo Maresca, from the onset, it is evidently clear that two things. Either our head coach Enzo Maresca, he is covering up something, or he's only protecting players. If the wingers, Noni Madueke, Pedro Neto, Misha, Jadon Sancho, Tariq George, if our wingers and Jackson were performing, if they were performing to the peak, then fair enough. But they are not. They are not. If our wingers with our strikers were performing to the peak, then there is no issue. Fair enough. But they are not. Do you think Pep Guardiola, having Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Foden, and will only play one at the same time, knowing full well that all these players are there right there on his bench, yet one is, let's say, as we, Kevin De Bruyne is not giving him, or we are lacking in something. Pep, do you think he will still just maintain that one player? No. No. You find a way to play your best players as a head coach. You find a way to play your best players as a head coach. We understand having your preferred system. But if the wingers and the strikers are not delivering, then you have to adapt. You have so much quality on the bench, yet you refuse to use them. That is just a fact. And like I said, it's two things. It's two things. And the most important one is he has something that he's hiding. Dear friends, you see, the later stages of Pochettino, the later days of Poch, he began to vent out his anger. He started to vent out his anger in the later stages. Started to speak the reality, the truth on the ground. And it's the reason why he was sacked. Right now, Pep Guardiola is not telling us what the reality. Robert Sanchez making mistakes, and Chelsea is conceding goals. Yes, unnecessary goals. Then you now try to relate us to midfielder Maresca giving a wrong pass. You now try to let us understand Nicola Jackson misses a goal. Noni Madueke did not cross the ball well. You try now to cover up the mess of Robert Sanchez with the errors made by the other players on the pitch of play. Listen, this is unacceptable. It is either our head coach is not getting the players he wants for his system, or he's failing his job, the system of so-called Maresca football. I don't know how to put it. Example, I can give you instances right now in the Premier League. Right now in the Premier League. I can mention Ruben Amorim. Okay, he is just coming in. So let me just put him by the side. Let's go by Arteta. Arteta was asked a simple question about his challenges in the squad. He pointed out his problems and the solution. Arteta, he said, we lost two very important players in Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Jesus. So why can't Enzo Maresca admit we lost Romeo Lavia and we need a replacement? Romeo is injury prone and we need a replacement. Why can't he just say that simply? Arteta says we lost two very important players in Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Jesus. He did not just end it. He said we lack goals. Mikel Arteta, this is Arsenal head coach. He says we lack goals. We lack people and we lack options. Do you get it? We lack people and we lack options. Now, you lost Badeshile, you lost Levi Cowell, you lost Romeo Lavia, you lost Enzo Fernandez, and Romelu Lukaku. Romeo Lavia, beg your pardon, Romeo Lavia. And you simply cannot admit your challenges and let the sporting directors know your problem. You are still beating around the bush. Mikel Arteta was specific. We lost two very important players in Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Jesus. We lack goals, we lack people, and we lack options. It's clear. He made it known to the world what the team is lacking. He said if we can get the right player, that's why we are actively looking at it. We are working on it. Yes, admitted. Why? You see, my anger seems to be rising. My anger. And you know why? Let me drop this for you. Enzo Maresca specifically stated to the world in a press conference, he says, I am happy with the wingers we have. Come on. Damn it. I am happy with the wingers we have. Really? You are happy with the wingers you have? Dear friend, do you know what that means? Just wait a minute. Maresca speaking, he was then asked about Alejandro Garnacho. Chelsea's interest in Garnacho. Do you know what he said? I am happy with what we have. On the right, it's Neto and Noni. On the left, we have Sancho, we have Misha, but he's not with us. Tariq George is an option. Is it that he is not aware of Chelsea's interest in Garnacho? Is it that he's not aware of Chelsea's interest in Douglas Luiz from Juventus? Or he is playing it safe? Listen, with the club, this is what he said. I'm about to run up. With the club and sporting director, we pay attention to the market. We've done nothing apart from call back Trevor Chalobah. He's telling us that Chelsea have done nothing in the transfer market in this January except calling back Trevor Chalobah. Let's see in the next 10 days. You see, in times like this, when the head coach of a club comes up and is not ready to speak out the truth, it borders on a lot of things. And this is why when the time comes and he's being sacked, some of us will not sympathize with him. We will not sympathize. He even spoke to the extent of telling us that in midfield, all is well. In midfield, when we all know that, listen, he said, Enzo Maresca on midfield situation, he said, will there be any recourse? He was asked for the midfield. He said, no, we have in this moment enough players to cover that situation with Moicasedo, Enzo Fernandez, and Kenyan Dewsbury Hall. The intention is not to go for one more midfielder. The intention is not to go for one more midfielder. Now, assuming Enzo Fernandez is not yet back, the intention is not to go for one more midfielder. Kenyan Dewsbury Hall should be the player that Chelsea should rely on. This is not my club, ladies and gentlemen. We've had coaches that speaks their mind, that tells the sporting director or the sporting directors what we need in order to succeed. In this situation, Maresca's reluctance to speak openly in press conference reminds me of what happened with Pochettino. It's the fact. This manager seems hesitant to voice concerns or criticize publicly. It's obvious that everything Maresca says was carefully briefed and he sticks to the script. Everything Maresca says was carefully briefed. He was told what to say and he stuck to the script that he was given. Pochettino, it was later part of his tenure, and it's one of the reasons why he was sacked. And many did not sympathize with him. Oh, all is well. Oh, all is well. Let me end it. Therefore, my time is up. But remember, Sunday is our game against City. Manchester City have already signed 3 players, if my memory serves me right. Yes. One of them, in fact, two of the new signings, Mamosh and Kusanov. In fact, 3. Mamosh, Kusanov, and Reese, they will all be involved according to the report we are receiving. All 3 will be involved versus Chelsea. Diaz and Doku, who are the old players, Diaz and Doku will miss the game. So it means that fresh blood has been injected into that squad. Mamosh, Kusanov, and Reese, they will all be involved in a game against Chelsea on Sunday. Doku will miss the game alongside Diaz. Ladies and gentlemen, to some shout out. I don't know if I have enough time, but then on your screen, Garnacho on IG posted something in his last game yesterday in the Europa League. It says, strong team performance, thank you Old Trafford. Strong team performance, thank you Old Trafford. What does that mean? Does that mean he's played his last game at Old Trafford? Well, we wait to see in the coming days. But I want to hope Garnacho is on his way to Chelsea. Bid submitted. We are not sure how much was submitted, but let's see what happens next in the coming days. Thank you, Old Trafford. Garnacho via Instagram. That is what you can see right there on your screen. Quickly, some shout out. Sebrain Chelsea. Sebrain Chelsea. I'm not too sure if that's your name. But he said we should be focusing our immediate attention on proven strikers. I agree with you perfectly, dear friend. Big shout out to you wherever you are. Next time, let me have your full name and where you are watching us from. Chris Williams says, which means Sancho is better than Garnacho. That is my personal perspective. And that is why I would have wished if we want to go in for something at all, it should be something of an upgrade. But we are getting something again on par. Chris Williams, big shout out to you wherever you are. Alex Mwepe says, please, can get Garnacho, Alex from Zambia. If you should get Garnacho right, many have their own opinion. I remember when we were going to sign Cole Palmer, many of us Chelsea fans were never in support of it, but he came and he surprised us. So maybe Garnacho will just step in and deliver. We understand he's a very good shooter. He shoots from, once he gets ahead of the defenders, he can take on 3-4 defenders. Once he's able to beat them, the next is to shoot. But he misses a lot of chances. That is the point. Instead of passing to give assist, he preferred to shoot. Jadon Sancho, he created the opportunity for he himself to shoot, but he preferred to pass to give assist. This is the differences in there. Anyway, big shout out to you, my dear friend, Chris Williams. Okay, the next one, Alex Mwape says you can get, okay. The next one says, Garnacho is a perfect competition for Sancho. So we want him. All right, Chelsea fans are happy Garnacho is coming to Chelsea. The next one, he said, you are right on this. Oh, only this one I'm right on. No problem. More so, he is a goal-scoring winger. Okay, no problem. Big shout out to you. But please, he said, Erika Tukbo. All right, let me have your name and where you're watching from. The name, I can see Eric there, whatever. Anyway, big shout out to you out there. Frederick Amabe says, we need Osimhen, please. Frederick Amabe from Biafra State, Nigeria. No problem. We are still praying and hoping. Yes, the next one says, congratulations to Chelsea in advance for, is it for Garnacho or for Douglas Luiz? Anyway, big shout out to you, my dear friend. The last but not the least, again from Frederick Amabe says, Osimhen is the best out of all the strikers. And in football, it's a team game, not like table tennis. Not like table tennis, you always go against Osimhen. Why? Like I said before, Ghanaians don't like us Nigerian. Thanks, Frederick Amabe from my brother. You see, all my studio, my technical department, everybody was like, why? How? You see, I will not argue with it to you. Like I always say, the blood is blue. It is all about Chelsea. It's not about nationality. Remember, Frederick Amabe, Nicholas Jackson is not a Ghanaian. If he was a Ghanaian, then he can accuse me of trying to promote him. But he's not a Ghanaian. You get it? Anyway, I appreciate all your comments. I'll be back in the next one exclusively. Shalom and peace.